Hey there, this is James for James Shipway Guitar and Total Guitar Lab, and I hope you're having a great day. Now I've got a very quick and rather exciting announcement here, and that is that I've just released my second book, following up my No Ball Music Theory for Guitarists book, which has been very successful on Amazon. I created this one, No Ball Barre Chords for Guitar. Now I think this was a book that I needed to always write, because so many guitar players struggle with barre chords. And if you're not sure what barre chords are, they're these chords when we press our finger all the way across the strings and make a shape like this with the rest of our fingers. In this video I want to just show you a couple of quick tips, which I outline in the book, to help you overcome some of the common problems that so many guitar players face with barre chords. These little tips can really help you. In the book I just outline pretty much everything you need to know about barre chords, and if you didn't know, with just a handful of barre chord shapes you can play literally hundreds and hundreds of chords and thousands of songs. So really, if you're a guitar player or a singer-songwriter or a hobby sort of guitar player who just likes to strum songs that you like, you really need to know what's in here. And I break it all down into a complete method which you can go through at your own pace, because the book's not going to vanish off your shelf. You can take your time, go through it, and it really will teach you everything you need to know to learn and be able to use these barre chords. So check it out. I will put a link underneath this post. But before I say goodbye for the day, I just want to give you 3 tips. This is 3 things where lots of guitar players go wrong with barre chords. Now, I've taught 30,000 hours or more of guitar lessons. I've seen lots of the mistakes that people make with these chords, and I've made all of them myself. So I'm pretty qualified here to kind of say to you, check out these 3 mistakes, because they can really hold you up. And I've found with a lot of my students, once we get over these 3 hurdles, they can really help. So let's check out tip number 1. Now, tip number 1 is very obvious. In fact, most of the stuff that holds people up is obvious. But if we think of barre chords, and if you don't know the shapes yet, well, you can check them out in the book or somewhere else, but we have a couple of different sets of barre chords. For example, this shape here is our E-shaped barre chord. That's a G chord when I play at the 3rd fret there. We can also play a major chord using a shape something like this. Or I actually play it like this quite often. Now, you'll notice they're both at the same fret, but they're not the same chord. When I play this, I get a G chord. When I play this one, I get a C chord. And this is mistake number 1 to avoid. Lots of guitar players get them really mixed up. They think that if this one's G, this one must be G. And it is not. So that's the first thing to avoid, getting those shapes mixed up. Make sure you learn which is the E shape, and make sure you learn which is the A shape, because that can really hold you up. So tip 1, learn the shapes properly. Make sure you don't get them mixed up. Know, what this one is when you move it here or there, and what this one is there, and don't make the mistake of thinking they're the same chord. Now the second one is for this really awkward barre chord hand position. Now if you haven't used barre chords a lot, or you're just getting to grips with them, or you've never played them before, I'm going to tell you now that they take a little bit of practice to get, and they are quite tough, because we're asking our hand to make a very unnatural position on the guitar. And the bit that lots of people find difficult is this barring, where we're putting this first finger across all the strings there, okay? Now, there's photos and everything in the book showing exactly what to do, but one of the most common things I highlight in there is a lot of people do this. They bend their finger under the guitar neck. You can just see that there. Now that is a big mistake. It feels slightly easier to play them for a moment, but it's really a shortcut that you do not want to take. You need to straighten out this finger. You can see my fingers kind of extending down below the neck there, okay? Now, here's the tip I really want to share with you, because I was teaching some barre chords to a guy a few weeks back, and I was a few months back, actually, before I wrote the book. This is in the book, and I just gave him this little tip, and it really helped him out. And I said to him, he was curling his finger under there, and I said, think about pushing your wrist forward. You can see if I turn sideways on, I'm pushing my wrist forward like that. And notice what that does to my first finger. Straightens it out, yeah? You can see that. This is a really great tip, and instantly his barre chords sounded a lot better. So just to reiterate that one more time, we're not letting our hand curl under here, or our finger curl under there. We're pushing our hand forward so that finger straightens out, and we're keeping it in that shape, okay? And that will make it much easier to get your other fingers in position and get that barre chord shape on. Like I said, it is awkward at first, does take a bit of practice, so if you find them awkward, don't think it's just you. I remember struggling with them. Pretty much everyone does when they first learn those barre chords. So that is the first 2 tips. Don't get your shapes mixed up. Don't let that finger curl under the neck. Push it forward, okay? Tip number 3 is another really obvious one, but it's often the simple things which seem to hold us up with our guitar playing. Tip number 3 is once you know these shapes, make sure you use them. A lot of people learn them, find them a little bit tricky, and they spend the rest of their time as a guitar player trying to avoid using them. Now, they're simply not going to get better if we do this. So take some songs which you know and start substituting some bar chords for some of the open chords. So if you have a song that goes like G to C, instead of doing it down here, maybe try playing the G with a bar chord. By forcing ourselves to use them like this, that's how we get used to using them. We also get used to switching between them and all sorts of other useful skills. So don't be afraid of them, just dive in, get to grips with them, and then practice using them, because that's the best way that you're going to become skilled at just playing them when you want to. I really can't overemphasize how powerful and how useful bar chords are in our playing. So like I said, if you're a guitar player or singer-songwriter, or you like just playing other people's songs, you really need to know these, because sooner or later you're going to hit a point where there's a lot of stuff you can't play if you can't play some bar chords. So if you think you do want to dive more into the bar chords and learn pretty much everything you need to know about them, then check out No Bull Bar Chords for Guitar. It's just pretty new. This book just came out a little while ago. I'll put some links to the page where you can grab a copy on Kindle or paperback in Amazon. It's got everything you need to know about bar chords in there. Photos showing you, if you can find those, photos showing you what not to do, the correct way to do it. It's got exercises, and it's also got some downloadable audio tracks with me strumming some chords along, and you can play along. So it's almost like you're sat here in my studio having a sort of one-on-one guitar lesson with me. So anyway, I hope this little tip helps you out today. Check out the book if you need your bar chords sorting out, and I'll see you again next time. So have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.